Hi, thank you so much for joining me for day 23 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christie's Beautiful Life. This is series 11, and today's sketch you can see in the top right hand corner is by Dana Terry. And this one really had me thinking, but I really enjoyed the outcome. So I'm going to get messy with mixed media today, and I'm using Vicki Boutin's print shop for this layout. And it's from a good while ago. It's my son and my nephew playing in the garden on a sunny day back in May 2009. So just drawing around where the photos are going to go and where that ampersand mat at the top left-hand corner is going to go. And then I'm coming in with some Shimmers Vibes spray in, I think it's called Salty Ocean. It's one of the blue ones. And I've just spritzed it onto the cardstock, and now I'm trying to blend it out a little bit with some water and add some bigger splatters. Obviously the spray, you do get overspray, but I just wanted some bigger splatters, and boy did this make a mess of my desk. I had to come in with the cream cleaner afterwards, but I think next time I'll be either more cautious or use some paper underneath, or possibly put it in a pizza box to protect everything around it, because it did spray far more than I'd anticipated. So that's the first go at the inks, but I decided I wanted to add a little bit more, so just removing those photos and getting them out of the way again before adding a few more sprays. It's good to bring the photos back in and see exactly where everything is, to see what else you want to add around. So while that's drying, I've moved it to one side and I'm just going through the 6x8 paper pad to see what I can use to map these photos with. And at first I think I'm going to use the reverse of this dotty paper for the green, which goes really nicely with the grass in the background. But then I see the spots and I look at the photos and see that the boys are playing with these plastic balls in the paddling pool. And I think how nice to be able to embellish with these, because the textures on them are just wonderful that Vicky's added. So first of all, I start using my circle punch. I think that's a 2-inch circle punch, but it's just slightly too big. So I then go in with my custom scissors and trim off. So the punch was a little bit of a waste of time, but I suppose it got them off the page. So I think I cut 5 of these in the end. Yes, looking at the layout, I think I've got 5 circles there. And these are absolutely fantastic for not only embellishing the photos, but sort of bringing them together as well, because they're overlapped in the way that they are. I felt there were some awkward spaces around that I wanted to fill in. You'll see as I start layering everything up how I've done that. So like I say, just trimming around all these circles to get them organised for the layout. So while I'm doing that, please do check the description box down below to see everybody else who's joining in on this fabulous hop. Christie's created a playlist for us, so we just add our videos each day as they're created, and you can just play that playlist to your heart's content. Some people prefer to choose one creative and watch all their videos, and some people just let the playlist play, but it's an absolutely brilliant invention because it means you're not having to click on each video independently each day and you forget where you were. This just remembers where you were and carries on from where you left off. So those circles are nearly done. I'll also add Dana's details down below, the sketch creator, so you can see more about her and see her creation, of course, as well. I'm looking forward to seeing that. So I then started looking for some papers to map the photos with, which was the original intention, and I came across this one with the circles on again. So I'm keeping the left-hand side a little bit bigger so that you still see those circles, and trimming the other edges, and I shall just distress all that with my edge distresser. This is the Tim Holtz edge distresser. It's a wonderful invention. I love it. I was a bit too reckless with scissors and quite often nicked the paper, so it's much harder to do. Believe me, I can still do it when I'm being too rough, but it's much better than trying to do it with scissors. So there's the start of that mat. And then I'm bringing in the green that I'd anticipated using in the first place, just the rest of that circle paper, to add an extra mat there. It wasn't quite straight, so just trimming the edge, and then I shall distress that again. Just using my nail for the short edges rather than trying to mess about getting the edge distress tool in there. And that's that mat done. So now moving on to the smaller photo. And again, these are both 4x6 photos that I've just trimmed down ever so slightly. Just trying to work out if I can use this paper here seeing how they layer together. But I decide against it in the end. I look for something else, and then I come across this green, and I think I just want to use one of the cards because it's journaling cards on one side. If I want to be able to use the second one, I want to keep it whole if I can. But when I put the photo on, it's slightly too big, so I just trim the bottom of the photo off so that it fits neatly onto that mat. I'm wondering whether to keep that brown branding strip on the paper to mat it with, but I decide against it in the end. So just positioning the photo and then trimming the paper down. And once again, I shall distress the edges with my edge distresser, just having a look to see what else I've got there to add to the layer. Again, that laziness in me coming out, if there's something there that can be used, I'll use that rather than searching for something else. So just getting all those edges ripped up a little bit. And then I can bring the background in. So here's the background now, it's dry. And just adding those photos, working out exactly where they're going to go. And you can see where I've sprayed, there's an awkward edge where I've just put that circle over the top. That I didn't like, but these embellishments will hide all that. So the spray will look like it's exactly where it's supposed to be. So this little frame I'm using to put my ampersand on. And I'll write my title there, which will just be George and James, my son and my nephew. The ampersand is actually from the Heart Eyes collection from Simple Stories. It's one that I've been trying to use the last few layouts and it didn't work. And then I remembered it when I saw this sketch and I thought, oh, I'll use it on this one. So that's the paper that I was trying to use for the mat for the bottom photo earlier. I was determined to get it used, so I'm using that to mat this frame. It's like a Polaroid frame. And I'll just leave it there for now, but I will use that. So now just working out the embellishments around the photos. I've got this tag that says good vibes only, and I just thought that was such fun for the picture of these two boys. So adding that, and then bringing in some of these washi stickers that were in the papyri paper pieces. And this one just says a collection of moments, which I thought was cute. Keeping the bottom because I can use that on another layout. So just snipping that off, and then I shall glue this down. And I love these washi tape stickers because they show the background underneath through. So you're still getting some of that spray coming through that sticker. And of course, if you didn't want that, you could just leave the backing on and glue it down and not have it as a washi sticker. So because the background is quite warped with all the mixed media, I'm actually coming in with my double-sided tape again for this one. So sticking that top photo down first, and then coming in with the bottom one after. Just again checking the positioning, checking that I'm happy with where I'm going with this before I stick it down. A lot of messing going on. I don't like things being too uniform, so I'm just having to play with those circles to see exactly how I want them to go. And in fact, when I move the photo and put them back, they don't go back in that position anyway. So sometimes I do wonder what goes through my mind. So see, moving them all out the way, so why did I bother? Just getting this into position, and then I can start faffing again. But in fact, I'm much happier with how I bring these back in. And you'll see I do raise some of them up on foam, just create different dimensions. And there's another one of those lovely washi stickers. So I mustn't forget that good vibes only piece. And now I can start gluing. So this one's going down flat. So is this, well, it's actually yellow. I realised when I scuffed the edges up and I'm about to glue it down, and I see it's actually the yellow side that I wanted to use there. So just check that I'm still happy with using it as a yellow rather than green. And I think that looks much better actually. So I should get that glued down. And then I realised that this navy blue one would be really nice raised up on a pop dot on some foam. So gluing the other one down first, and then I shall raise that navy blue one onto the 6-2 foam pad. So there we go, one of the 25mm one works perfectly. And then getting this ticket in and making sure that I've got space for that tag that I so desperately want to use. Sorry about the noise overhead. We're on a flight path, so we sometimes get the helicopters coming down. I think they come down from the army base in Preston. They make quite a racket when they're going overhead. So this one also getting popped onto some foam there. Think about moving it to the left, but I prefer it here on the right hand side. Nearly capture the tag with it, so just moving that so that it's free and then gluing that down into position. And I've still got these little offcuts of paper, so I'm just wondering where to put those. And one gets nestled down here once I've glued everything else down. And I love how this washi sticker looks. It's just really subtle. Because like I say, you can still see everything underneath on the background through it. So adding some wax twine to my tag in yellow to bring some more of that yellow down here. And just gluing the ends underneath the tag. Still playing with this offcut. It does go down here. So just trim off the edge. And pop that down there. Of course, distressing the edges first. And then the final piece that I cut off the edge of that goes onto that top photo. So there's that top piece. Just using my nails because it's a bit difficult to use the edge distress on such short edges. So now going through the sticker book from Print Shop, and I find this sticker that says a collection of moments. We've already got that once on that washi sticker. I hadn't realised that, but I obviously definitely wanted to use that phrase on this layout. But it looks nice, and I hadn't noticed until now, so it's not too obvious. So distressing this photo mat now that I'm using for the title mat. Just to keep it the same as all the other mats that are on the page. And then I can get all of this glued together. So first of all, gluing that Polaroid piece down. And then the ampersand. And then I'm going to come in with the new Doodlebug Puffy Alphabet Soup stickers to write George in blue at the top. And then underneath the ampersand, I will add James in yellow. So just moving those down so that it's all, I like things to be connecting where I can. So you can see I've just sort of nestled that on top of the ampersand, and then James will be nestled just underneath the ampersand. So everything's touching and connected. It's not just floating in space. And now those are down, I can glue that down. I'm also coming in with some more of these squiggles flare badges. I used them yesterday as well from the Happy Days collection. And again, these colours work really nicely with Print Shop. They were designed for the Happy Days collection, but as I mentioned yesterday, these colours in the papers do follow through. So adding some word strips now. That one says Grow Free Wildflower, and then the other one says Joy from the Inside Out. So gluing this photo mat down now. And then finally I'm going to come in with my splatters, and I'll be using my gold watercolour to do this. And that's it for today. I shall leave you with some close-ups shortly. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you've enjoyed watching my process video, and I shall see you again tomorrow for day 24. Thanks again. Bye.